As you know, this is a remote meeting pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending
This
certain
conference
provisions
will
of
now be recorded.
Keep going.
Okay.
Okay. All meetings and hearings listed in the agenda will also be done so through remote participation. The governor's order put strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. So this meeting of the Shrewsbury Housing Authority will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with the right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Shrewsbury Housing Authority website. And also, as I understand it, Kelly, you posted this notice as well so that people can dial in or Zoom in if they choose, correct?
It is posted at the 3 sites. It's posted at the police department and the town hall.
Okay, so you, anybody that wants to can join this meeting from their computer, their tablet, or their smartphone. That said, no in-person attendance by members of the public are permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time by technological means. In the event we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. To participate in the public comment portion of this meeting, although I don't think there really is going to be one, the number is 1-866-899-4679, and entering the following PIN access code 673-965-261. Please mute your device until I, as chair of the board, address your agenda item or opens the meeting to public comment. With that said, every vote that we make during this meeting will be by roll call vote in line with the requirements as we all know them now. So has everybody had a chance to read the minutes of June 9th, 2020?
Yes.
Yes. I make a motion you accept the minutes as printed for June 9th, 2020, Mr. Chair.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor. We'll start with Kathy. Kathy McSweeney.
Muted.
We'll start with Gail.
Oh, she's frozen.
Aye.
Paul Campanella.
Paul Campanello, aye.
Richard Ricker, aye. Kathy McSweeney. You can raise your hand if you can't hear us. I see her saying aye, and she raised her. I'll accept that as. All right.
I can hear you and see.
Okay, you keep on getting muted for some reason, Kathy.
My microphone's turned on, so I don't know why.
Okay, I'm on hotspot too, so maybe it's mine. Who knows? Okay, treasurer's report and financial report. First, we have the treasurer's report. Everybody has a chance to review that. There's no motion required. Anybody have any questions for Kelly on this? Aside from the fact that we have a healthy balance, which is good for us, right, Kelly?
Yes, it is. I'm just going to let Bruce in. He's standing at my door.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
All right, so Kelly, you and Bruce are going to have to be 6 feet apart for the purposes of this meeting.
We are.
We're doing it, and I'm wearing a mask, sort of.
Okay, so, and we have this Section 8 operating statement. Is that what we have? Oh, wait, hold on a second.
These are the statements from James.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to explain these, Kelly? Oh, these are the budget. Please show us where we are with regard to the budgets at this particular time in place. And I don't see any deficits at this particular stage.
No, it's all healthy. And these are as of June 24th.
Okay, so it's all healthy, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on these statements?
No.
Okay, fine. And you can see the reserves as of May 31st, 2020. The only thing I would say on this is, Kelly, did we show here what the required balance should be?
Is that for the housing choice voucher?
No, that's for the reserves, Housing Authority reserves. It's for state consolidated, state 689, state 689-3,
It's the
federal,
document that goes sideways while all the other ones go vertical.
right. So that's the reserves statement. And usually, as I recall, we had a line item that said what the required minimum and maximum was, right, Paul?
That is my recollection, correct?
Not for housing choice voucher.
Oh,
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
all for the state and federal programs, not for the,
Okay, so then let me ask you this, in light of the fact that I know Paul will. Are we in line with the requirements of minimum and maximum? Are we within the guidelines?
yes.
Does anybody else have any questions, comments, or discussion relative to the reserves?
No?
nope, you got mine.
For the voucher program. Okay, so we don't need to vote on that. We'll now go to the vendor accounting register, check register.
I have a couple, Mr. Chair.
But as a preface, let me just say that in the future, Kelly, I would like to see, since we do this remotely, unfortunately, as long as we're doing this remotely, I would like to see any of the large bills, such as the very large plumbing bills, things like that. I'd like to see copies of those appended to this statement or to Gary's explanation. Okay?
Okay.
Okay with that, everybody?
Yeah, that
Yes.
that was one of my questions, Mr. Chair. There's two large plumbing bills in a row, G&L and Garabedian for just under $2,000 and just over $5,000. 807 and 808, I believe, or 809, and then GCE architecture for $7,000. I'd like to understand all three of those.
Okay.
All right, so the plumbing bill from Garabedian, the large one, he shows HVAC. That is at one of the family units, right, Kelly?
That's the 689. That's Lake Street.
That's Lake Street.
Yes.
And what did he do there?
He
It
served
looks to me like
all
service
three.
mini splits and two condensers for the 1168. But then for $4,321, he supplied and installed a hot water heater. What kind of hot water heater was it? Do you know? This is one of the reasons why I want to see copies of the bills in the future. Okay.
Okay, I can get the bill right now if you would like.
Is that everybody's flavor, or do you want to move along?
No, we can. I mean, these are big bills. I'd like to understand them. That's my 2 cents, but I'll follow the group.
I'm with you, Paul. Kathy, you still with us? I think we've lost Kathy. I see her.
She's muted herself, so I think she's trying to conserve bandwidth, would be my guess.
Okay. And obviously, the next bill that you mentioned, Paul, would be the HUD, that toilet room bill, which I want some explanation. Well,
Yeah. There's 3 right in a row.
yep.
So I have Garabedian right here.
Okay.
Um,
The hot water tank.
is that the 4,321?
Yes.
So it was provide fees and permits and inspections, disconnect and remove and dispose of leaking 75-gallon power vented water heater, furnish and install an A.O. Smith GPVX 75 power vented 75 gas-fired water heater, reconfigure the water piping in vent piping for the new water heater as needed, place water heater in operation, set outgoing water temps and checks for leaks.
Well, if I don't comment on this, I would be, it wouldn't be right. I mean, that's a very high bill for that. It's very high.
So,
So I think in the future, you need to check his billing prior to him being called to do a 75-gallon hot water heater. That is just, I mean, I would, in the private sector, that bill would be half of that. So
in the payroll
not
for
even
that,
half of that.
the payroll is $1,031.77 because they have to give us DLW wages.
But that's at what, $38 an hour?
63.71.
No. Okay, that's the prevailing wage now?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
That prevailing wage?
What's the total number, Kelly? What's the total labor?
The total labor is 5.5 hours. The rate of pay is $63.71. And it should come out to $1,031.77. Over 1358, 1385.41, and then the net.
Wait, no, not even close.
Right, not even close.
$5.
My suggestion would be that, Paul, I would agree that we would approve this subject to your later approval when you see the billing, Paul. And if there's any question, you hold it till.
So, Kath, that applies to you. When you get it, if you have a comment, sign it or don't sign it, knowing that, or write me a note on a Post-it note right on the bill, and then you and I will go back and forth. Because they're going to hit you first.
Because I want to make sure that this bill is checked. It doesn't sound right.
Okay.
Okay, Kathy, are you back with us, right? Oops. Lost her
For a
again.
split second, she was. Okay.
Okay.
So I tagged one.
Okay, so you tagged that one. The other one is, it is what it is. I mean, again, for just servicing mini splits, Kelly, that seems like a high bill. So, I don't know what they did to service it, but from here on in, why don't you show that bill to Paul as well, so that he can make a determination. Paul, you and I deal with these things more often than anybody else here. So,
Yeah.
let's take a look at it. And if there's a question, would you get a copy to my office as well, please, so I can talk to Paul?
Absolutely. After this meeting, I'll scan these over to you all also.
Okay. All right, so tell us now about, and whatever motion we do here is going to be subject to later ratification by Paul and Kath.
Yeah, I'll make the motion subject to the bills we hold back. Right now, it's two. It's G&L and Garabedian. But I'm curious about a $7,000 toilet.
Yeah, what's the HUD S01 toilet rooms, Kelly?
What bill number is that? I'm sorry.
Very next one,
19809.
19809.
Oh, that's the architect bill. So
Oh, it is.
yes, we're in the process of remodeling the common room bathrooms. So I need
What building? Federal?
federal, this building at the towers.
Yeah, designing the bathrooms. Jeez. Okay. Any other questions? What's the total project scope on that, Kelly?
So the highest the bids did come in, but it was way over. I was budgeting 30,000, 15,000 per bathroom. And one of the bids came in at 70,000. One came in at 65 and the other at 40. But now we have a good estimate of what it's gonna cost because we're not ADA compliant in the bathrooms. So once we start tearing something up, we have to be ADA with everything.
So, what are we gonna do from here?
I didn't hear you.
I said, so what are you going to do from here?
From here, we're gonna, on the next
Yeah.
budget, gonna put money away for, just like the elevators. So that 30,000, so every 5-year plan, so I have up to 5 years to spend that money. So I think we're gonna do another 30 next year. And that will bring it up to 60,000. And then a year after, they can go out to the bids again to see if maybe they'll come down a little bit. But I have that, so that was her, it was the schematic design and cost. The bidding in construction was 4,000. The bidding on another site was 400. The construction administration was 1,500. The design cost was 1,250, and we had to have asbestos testing, which was 1,100. So we'll put this one aside.
What's the total?
The total of that is 6,750.
Let me ask you something then. Part of it is construction administration, and since we're not actually doing the construction, do we still owe that money?
These are all architect fees.
But part of it says construction administration. Right?
Construction administration, current invoice, that part is 0.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry about
Anybody
that.
else have any questions? Sorry. Anybody else have any questions on this? Any other questions, comments, discussion on this vendor schedule? There being none, can we have a motion?
Yes, but I need clarity. Are we comfortable with that last bill?
I don't think we have much choice on that last bill.
Okay, I don't either. So I would like to make a motion to approve the bills for the amount of 109, 241.55, less 2 specific bills, 19,807 and numbers 19,808 for 1857 and 5489 respectively.
Second.
Which will, okay, I would suggest that we amend that just to say which, when approved at the time of the check signing, will be ratified at that stage. So I would say.
Subject to Mr. McSweeney and Mr. Campanello's subsequent approval, so moved.
Right,
Second.
okay. Gail seconded. All right, all in favor? Kathy? Right, Gail?
Aye.
Hey, Kelly, if you want to let me present, I'll move the agenda along if you want.
Perfect.
You probably don't know.
Paul, can we have a vote?
Paul Campanello, aye.
All right, Bruce?
Aye.
Aye.
And Kathy? Kathy, I see it. I believe I see an aye. Okay. All right. I don't hear it, but I think I see it. Okay. So, and I say aye as well. So the motion is approved. Okay. The next item is the accounting check register for the landlords and tenants. Paul will usually make this motion.
Yep.
In the amount of
Yeah, I will.
172.
I'd like to make a motion in the landlord and check in the amount of 172832.
Second.
I don't see 178232. I see 127,259.
Maybe you went right by it.
Yeah.
Kelly, can you let me scroll so we can share? We need to move the agenda.
We're on the HAP accounting check register dated 7/1/2020, right, Paul?
Yes, mine is 1728. So hold on, let me share. I don't know. Here we go. Richard, this is the number I'm looking at.
Okay, all right. That's the, okay, yep. Okay, I went right by that, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right.
That's the portability check register, sorry about that. Yep, okay, so
No
Paul
worries.
made the motion.
My
I'll make the
motion
motion.
stands. Yeah, my motion stands.
And
In
Gail
second.
seconded. All right, and all in favor, Kathy McSweeney? Aye. Gail Vigilant?
Aye.
Paul Campanello?
Paul Campanello, aye.
Bruce? Bruce? Aye. Do we have Bruce?
He gave an aye.
Okay, and Richard Ricker, aye. Okay, so we're moving on, unanimous.
Oh.
Now we have the check registers for the landlord and tenants.
I'd like to
That
make a
one
motion to approve the check registers for the landlord and tenant in the amount of $127,259 even.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor, Kathy McSweeney?
Yep.
I think I see an aye. Gail Vigilant?
Aye.
Paul Campanello?
Paul Campanello, aye.
Bruce Party? Bruce Party? Is he with you, Kelly?
Kelly's-
Okay. Did he say aye, Kelly? All right, Richard Ricker, aye. I'm not sure where Bruce is in this.
Kelly, can you hear us?
Guys,
Kelly, you're on mute. Can you hear us?
I hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, so did you say aye, Kelly?
Oh my God.
I know.
Kelly, did Bruce say aye?
Yes,
Yes.
you did.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
All set.
unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we're on to the payroll, Paul.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the payroll as printed. I'm going to quickly scroll right by it because we're being recorded.
Public
Aye.
inf-
A second, rather.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No discussion. All in favor, Kathy McSweeney?
Aye.
Thank you. Gail Vigilant?
Aye.
Paul Campanello?
Aye.
Bruce Pardee?
Aye.
Richard Ricker, aye. Thank you very much. That went very nice and smoothly. Now we have the letter from NARO relative to Chapter 93, the Acts of 2020, relative to data collection and COVID. I'm sure everybody read this. I agree with NARO that we are not a nursing home or an assisted living facility. So I'm glad that they're taking that stand, and we'll see what happens. Anybody have any questions, comments, or discussion about that letter or the follow-up note from Ben Stone?
It seems very straightforward.
It does. It does. And it also appears that, Kelly, you don't have to bring people in, and you don't have to bring everybody back into the office just yet, as long as you are able to effectively manage the authority and meet the mandatory safety standards of the facilities, and basically address all of the issues that come along.
I
So
am
I'm assuming
the girls are all back in the office as of last week.
they are back. Okay.
Are back.
And has there been a change in the maintenance operations? Are they doing more maintenance, or are they still?
We're only doing health and safety.
Okay. I think that's good, because that's basically what they're telling you to do. So that's okay. Anybody have any questions, comments on this long memo?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to both scroll and pause, so it's just not a moving screen, but. Okay.
That's okay. In any event, I think that it's all very straightforward anyway. So, and then you have a memo regarding the requesting of funds for various things, Kelly, and I'm assuming you followed those guidelines.
We are, and we're in the process of putting up the plexiglass in the front office. Right now, we have 2 separate plexiglass. We're looking to get one straight across, so the receptionist would feel safer. So we're working on that.
Anybody have any questions or comments on this?
No.
I think it was pretty straightforward. So, I will say that as we get to the vacancy report, I am extremely disappointed to see the condition that these 2 apartments were left in.
Oh, that was awful.
And I might, I would like to ask a question specifically. I understand Francis Gardens, and we've seen what smokers do to apartments, and this is just another example of how much damage nicotine does to apartments, especially when people don't clean them. And so that one is very disappointing, that number 36. But that being said, it'll be rehabbed. It'll take a month and a half to do, but it'll be rehabbed, and we'll move on. Elizabeth Gardens, on the other hand, they left everything there, Kelly, and it was an administrative transfer. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, so the offer is going to be an administrative transfer. And so the person passed away, did not have any family or close family. When they finally got a hold of somebody, person came in, they got what they wanted, then they left the keys. But I want to show you what they left, all her belongings.
Yeah, you know, that it's just terrible, but I guess you got to get it done.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what to say about anything that you find or that they find that may have any value to it. I just don't know what to think about any of that.
Rich, I think we throw all that stuff away. I think this came up once before, like 5 years ago, and I don't think we can be in the business of reappropriating. I think it's all trash to us, even if there is something of value there. I think I recall discussing that once before.
Okay, I think you're right, and so
I just want to show you guys pictures.
Oh,
You could see.
making my skin crawl.
the pictures were worth 1,000 words. So thank you very much. So, moving right along. It's you know that these pictures now become part of the public record, Kelly. So if anybody wants to see this, that watches this program, they're going to see these pictures. They're going to see what we have to deal with on a fairly regular basis. So
yes.
It's unfortunate.
This one, the staining of the walls makes my skin crawl in this one.
And the ceiling. And the ceiling. Yeah. That's nicotine.
Yes, it is. It's almost 15 years of nicotine.
Oh,
It's one of the reasons I quit.
One of the reasons we all quit. Those of us that had that habit to begin with.
Kathy and I.
not me.
Okay.
Never smoked.
So moving along to the building report, federal, the towers.
Do I need to go back up to the actual report? Yeah, hold on.
I think it's beyond this.
We're
Okay, well, so this report, we don't need to vote on this. Does Kelly want to talk us through this or no? We're all set?
Oh, we're all set. Just go all the way down now.
What about this?
That was just showing who was picked and who was
Okay,
next.
I didn't know if you want to talk about it.
It's a veteran.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
And the Shrewsbury Towers one is a local resident,
Yes.
as you can see.
Also great.
Yep. Yep.
The-
So
Actually, they came in today to sign the lease. Very nice,
very nice couple.
very nice. It's a guy.
And 812, you say maintenance is working in the apartment. Is that going to take a while?
No, that should be done by the end of this week.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that offer will be going out as well.
Yes.
Okay. If there's no questions, we'll move on to the Section 8 program, which is fully leased up. And you can see the monthly activity. The total hosting is down to 2. Anything you want to say about that, Kelly?
No, that has a lot to do with, say, if another housing authority was hosting for me and one of my vouchers count went down, I would call them and ask if I could have my voucher back
Okay.
to keep my numbers up. And that's what they're doing.
Okay. Anybody have any questions here?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Moving along. We see the resident count for the month of June 2020, which is what we call the social service report, even though our coordinator is not a licensed social worker.
Yeah, maybe we should avoid that title in light of all the other terms issues we've experienced over the last month, Richard. Maybe we call this the resident coordinator report or something like that.
You know, I'm looking down at her signature, and I'd like to know what LSWA, comma PSC means.
Licensed social worker.
Yeah, I would assume that means licensed social worker of sorts. So I thought she was not.
She is.
Say that again, Kelly.
It was in a letter. It explains she's not it's a licensed social worker, but it's a practice. Can you hold on one second?
I Googled it if you look. I Googled
Yes.
the term.
Is it apprentice?
Associate, PSC. Right here, Richard. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so entry-level social work employees wanting to work at non-clinical level. Okay. Okay.
What is the PSC, Paul?
That's what I was doing, but nothing. PSC. Let's try it by itself. No, I don't know what PSC stands for. But LSWA was clear.
Okay. Kelly, maybe you can get a clarification for us.
I will.
Okay. Any questions on this report?
No.
No.
All right, there being none, then we'll move along. Transportation contract, is that up for discussion, Kelly?
No, Holly from the Council on Aging emailed me. She just wanted the board to see what her employees are doing to keep safe during the coronavirus. And if you guys were okay with all riders must wear masks, riders should use hand sanitizers, riders will sit in the rear of the vans.
Be ready 20 minutes before. Only
Yeah.
one rider at a time. That must be hard. Okay.
And she just wanted to know if you guys had any questions or concerns.
Well, the only concern I would have is if you're only allowing one rider at a time in the van, then that must be, the availability must be few and far between. So I would assume that accounts for substantial delays in pickups and
At this time, we're accepting riders, ADA riders, and other essential requests.
right. So ordinary folks that are healthy at our authorities are not able to use it at this stage. Is that correct?
I can check with her, but I believe that's what they're doing.
Okay. Questions, comments, discussion from anybody?
Nope, there's a memo following it right here.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Well, I was looking at, there was a flyer up above, was what I was showing you originally, see this.
Right.
But it's the
Right.
same content, same content.
In concept, and it seems to me that the van is now severely limited. At least that's what I take from this.
Richard, you cut out, will you say that again? The van is now severely what?
Limited. Van
Yes.
is severely limited. Okay, and then now the next thing, unless anybody else has any comments on that. Anybody? All right.
No.
Next is the personal possessions policy discussion by Karen Allers. Is there a need, Kelly, for us to change our policy at this stage, do you think?
I don't think so. I've been walking around and seeing a lot of stuff on our decks that shouldn't be on our decks. And when I tell our residents, listen, this shouldn't be on the deck, it needs to go, they've been really good about getting rid of it or bringing it inside their apartment. A lot of people like to decorate. I don't want to take that away from them. It comes down to they really don't want nothing on the decks. I don't think we need this, but Karen wanted all housing authorities to run it by their boards.
What I would suggest to my fellow commissioners is that we take this and table it for now. Kelly, if you would send out to all of us our present policy so that we can all compare it and see if there's anything that we feel may need change, and we can discuss it perhaps at the next meeting.
Okay.
That,
Yes.
okay. Yeah,
That's fine.
Kathy? Yeah, I see the yes. Thank you. That, and I believe that's the end of business. Do we have any new business other than this, Kelly?
We do not.
Do we have any old business that needs to be attended to? We do not. I don't believe we have any legal matters to discuss. So with that in mind, anybody have anything else they'd like to chime in on? If not, then I guess we'll take a motion. Yes, Paul?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, with our next board meeting is presently scheduled for,
I think it's 4 weeks henceforth. I believe for yesterday, it is scheduled for August 11th at 4 p.m.
That's what I
Okay.
have.
all right, so we're gonna leave it at that for now, and if there's any change, we'll post it. So Paul's made a motion to adjourn. Gail's making a second. All in favor? We'll start with Paul.
All Campanello, aye.
Gail Vigent,
Aye.
Bruce Pardee,
Aye.
and Kathy Sweeney. I can barely make her out, but I see her shaking her head aye. And I say aye, so thank you all very much. This was a little difficult for some reason, probably technical difficulties, but thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you.
You also stay well.
See you, everybody. Thank you, Kathy.
All
Thank you,
right,
Gail.
bye, sorry.